What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Okay, so this video of the day that I'm gonna do has to do with Gerb, and I just gotta say, man, I'm really proud of what he's doing. Like the way that he conducts himself with everybody, he's always really respectful. He does incredible research, but more importantly, he has integrity, which I think it's a rare trait in this space. And that is something that I will always support. So when I see stuff like this happening to Gerb, I can't help but celebrate it because I appreciate very much that a publication like The Hill, of all publications, was able to get Gerb to speak about two separate statements from people who were part of the presidential cabinet at different points that a lot of us don't agree with. And even though, for example, this clip from Obama.
Here's the thing. For those of you who still think that, we've got little green men underground somewhere.
Yeah.
One of the things you learn as president is government is terrible at keeping secrets. This idea of conspiracy theories, if there were aliens or alien spaceships or anything under the control of the United States government that we knew about, seen, photographs, what have you, I promise you, some guy guarding the installation would have taken a selfie with one of the aliens and sent it to his girlfriend and impress him. It would leak.
Or there'd be like hints. There'd be like certain hints out there, like a presidential center would look like a scout ship that's just come down from low orbit and landed in Chicago. That would happen, something like that.
It could happen.
Was like sort of like a fuse that was lit that started whatever is happening right now with all the releases and all that. And make no mistake, that was the fuse that lit it. There were a bunch of inconsistencies in Obama's statements there. And yesterday, Vice President JD Vance also made a lot of erroneous statements about the UFO crash retrieval program and what is known as the legacy program and what he is skeptical with David Grush about. So when somebody asked who was a good person to get on the Hill to speak about this, they chose Gerb, and I'm damn glad that they did. So let me show it to you right here. Here's UAP Gerb on the Hill talking about both Obama's statements about aliens and JD Vance's statements about David Grush and aliens or demons. So here it is.
Let's talk about this interview with Joe Rogan. The vice president told Rogan that the government is willing and able to do a lot of crazy stuff, but what he's basically saying is that he is skeptical of the competence to be able to carry out some sort of a secretive campaign to not disclose this type of bombshell information. What does the UFO UAP community think of the vice president's interview?
Well, Drew, first off, thank you so very much for having me, sir. It's an honor and a privilege. Of course, when the vice president goes on the most popular podcast in the world and talks about the topic of UFOs, UAP, that's going to grab some headlines. So to start, well, Drew, first off, thank you so very much for having me, sir. It's an honor and a privilege. Of course, when the vice president goes on the most popular podcast in the world and talks about the topic of UFOs, UAP, that's going to grab some headlines. So to start, JD Vance spoke that, of course, if the U.S. government is indeed in possession of recovered non-human intelligence technical vehicles or the associated biological pilots or occupants, that there's no way this secret would leak. I would certainly contest that argument and say that this sort of secret has leaked plenty of times in the past. We have former Air Force Major and very seasoned intelligence officer David Grush, who testified in 2023 before Congress about the existence of coordinated crash retrieval, reverse engineering programs, and monitoring programs of non-human technical vehicles. Furthermore, quite recently, former President Barack Obama made the same sentiment. He made a somewhat comical statement and said that, oh, of course, if the United States was in possession of alien bodies, alien craft, some industrial security personnel specialist would take a selfie with the alien. I contest this statement as well. I think the United States is extremely good at keeping secrets, has a special access program, SAP, and national program ecosystem that is completely catered towards compartmenting covert information. And all one has to do is look at one of the most covert intelligence agencies of this entire country, the NURO, National Underwater Reconnaissance Office, a completely unacknowledged intelligence agency, and reassess that sort of statement, can the U.S. keep secrets?
And Rogan and Vance talked about the UFO whistleblower David Grush. What did you make of that conversation?
So Vice President Vance stated that when he entered office as VP, one of his expressed missions was to get to the bottom of the UFO mystery, and he still hasn't done that yet. JD Vance stated that he has spoken to David Grush, and since he hasn't gotten to the bottom of the UFO mystery, now might be the perfect time. David Grush, again, is extremely credentialed within Air Force, the intelligence enterprise, and his whistleblower complaint to the intelligence community inspector general was deemed credible and urgent. And again, in 2023, he testified before Congress about the existence of these crash retrieval reverse engineering programs known as the legacy programs, and not only made allegations about these programs, but now recently has stated he has direct firsthand experience of the existence of these programs. So I think JD Vance getting with David Grush, getting with Representative Eric Burleson out of Missouri, and kind of discussing and coordinating them with their current efforts would be the very best place to start.
The Trump administration has said its main goal is transparency. While some UFO files have been released, do you believe this is enough, or do you think there's more information that needs to come out?
I'd say there's certainly more information that needs to come out. So far, we've gotten a cohort of videos, some of which are quite interesting, the majority of which I'd say have prosaic explanations. We've also had quite a few files, some of which have existed in the public domain before. In all four tranches is the buzzword being used, tranches of files. We've had references to 1948, 1950, and green fireballs exhibiting very extraordinary movement capabilities seen over the American Southwest. This is, of course, Project Twinkle under astronomer Lincoln La Paz. This is well known. There are some other interesting files, such as the intelligence community encountering and almost having a chase with a series of orbs from a helicopter in late 2025 over one of our sensitive military ranges. But I would say, of course, this is not enough. These files, these videos do not address crash retrievals, reverse engineering, and do not even touch the Department of Energy. For seasoned viewers of this program, they will know that the Department of Energy is adherent to their own classification system that the president does not have unilateral declassification over. And this, of course, stems from the 1954 Atomic Energy Agreement.
Man, that was so good, Gerb. I got to give it to you, man. That was really good. And, it gets a little tiring when there's people who try to contest what Gerb is saying or doing with his work, and they don't take the fucking time to watch everything that he's putting out. I know that he puts out like 3 and 4 hour long videos, but you can like pace yourself and watch it all. And that's something that I do when I'm cleaning, when I'm doing dishes, when I'm not doing stuff for the channel, when I'm doing home stuff, which is the majority of the time. I'm listening to something, I'm watching something. And a lot of the stuff that I've seen from Gerb has been in those moments. So get some time to watch the material and to understand the material, more importantly, because you can watch material and you can watch podcasts and you can read books and everything. But if your capability for retention is shit and you don't have a capability for understanding what is being conveyed to you, then maybe you shouldn't be looking at this in the first place. And you shouldn't be, contesting people who are doing the work, who are reading the books, who are going through all the material, who are taking the time to do it and respecting the source, and expect that people are going to pay attention to what you're doing when you're clearly disrespecting the whole process. You got to read the material, man. So that's why I laugh whenever somebody tries to say something to contest this guy. It's really hard to do so. And I've tried to get him on a couple of occasions. Sometime I may be able to, but he's just very well read on everything that he does. So it's really hard to get him to make a mistake and to do a hiccup. And people can say whatever they want about Gerb. They can say that he's like part of the incel community, whatever they want to say. Fact of the matter is, he's always been transparent in the way that he approaches things. He does protect sources, as anybody who does this does. But I think that he's a straight shooter, and I am very glad to see him flourish like this. There's another really cool thing that happened today with him, which is the Chris Ramsey has this amazing concept called the Flying Saucer Diner. In the first installment, he had none other than Travis Walton sitting in a diner having a conversation about UFOs, aliens, abductions with Bob Lazar. That was beautiful. But today, he released a conversation where he was part of with Gerb and Jesse Michaels. And that was really cool too, to watch. Let me know what you guys think about this one. What do you think about Gerb challenging Obama's statements, which those were made with Stephen Colbert, not in that other podcast, but he was dismissive in both of them. But what do you think about him challenging both him and JD Vance? Let me know in the comment section down below. And what do you think about him going on the Hill? That was big for him. Congratulations, Gerb. Well deserved, man. I'll be reading your comments. Before I leave, I want to present you with Psicoactivo's first ever sponsor, One of You, a really cool small business by the name of Anomalous Cards from my friend Matt. Thank you to Anomalous Cards for sponsoring this video, and here's a message from Matt.
Hey Psicoactivo listeners, this is Matt with Anomalous Cards. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported Anomalous Cards, and if you haven't checked us out yet, I hope you will soon. 2025 Anomalous Cards is a set of 100 trading cards documenting the top 100 UAP-related news events of 2025. Every card is serial numbered, and cards are available in factory sets and now hobby boxes. Factory sets include all 100 cards in the base set, including all 20 short print cards. Over half of factory sets have already been sold, so don't wait. Hobby boxes contain 18 packs of cards and are the only way to get Heroes of Truth insert cards. Heroes of Truth are art print cards that pay tribute to 30 brave truth tellers, past and present, who have spoken out on the realities of UAP. The cards are serial numbered to different amounts from 250 to as low as 10. Go to www.letsgetanomalous.com and at checkout, use promo code Psicoactivo for 15% off your order. Again, that's www.letsgetanomalous.com and use promo code Psicoactivo. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive, like Pavel.
And that's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive, like UAP Gerb. Always. Bye, Gerb. Always.